What if your content was organized, running, and actually working for you, and you got to get 5 or more hours back every single week just by having a proper system behind it that actually fit your brain and how you work? My name's Jenny Stevens, and I design and build smart AI-powered systems for service providers who are feeling capped, so that you can actually stay visible without it being a grind, you resenting your content, and actually help you take on more clients without all the admin swallowing you up whole, and allow you to actually step back from your business without things just falling apart at the moment that you just take a break. Now, this is video 1 of 7, this 7-part series that's actually going to be dropping daily this week. And I'm going to be going deeper into each section of my own content system. So if you're not subscribed yet, hit subscribe now so you don't miss any of them. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a clear picture of exactly what my AI content operating system is, how each section connects, how it can work for your brain and your business and fit for what you need, as well as obviously everything that's going to be coming up in the rest of this series. So let's just start with an overview first off. You can just kind of get a feel about what does the system do and how it can help you. Now, before I built this system, I don't know about you, but like my content lived everywhere, and I mean everywhere. I had ideas and things that I'd saved captured in my notes app on my phone in like multiple different folders in my notes app that I'd never look at again because finding them just felt harder than just starting over. I had so many different content plans in spreadsheets that I tried so many different ways of how to plan my content, but nothing actually kind of went out. I had all these plans and so many of them were unfinished and just were plans. I didn't know what performed well, what I could reuse. It was just more things to manage. I also then had loads of inspiration saved on Instagram, good real ideas or hook ideas or ads that I'd seen that were really useful that I'd fully intend to actually do something with, and half the time I didn't. And every time a launch came around, I'd really feel it, that same kind of overwhelming feeling of thinking, oh my God, there's so much content to create, starting from scratch and just always feeling kind of like I was behind and could never really kind of keep up. As a solopreneur with no team, it always just felt a lot. And with a launch, there was so many other things that had to be done. I always felt like the content was sort of on the back burner and never quite shared enough as I thought I needed to. So you kind of rush it, you post inconsistently, you got loads of things that you wanted to say that you didn't, you ran out of time, and you just never feel like you're kind of showing up the way that you want to. So if that sounds familiar to you, just know that you're not alone. But I realized that the problem wasn't the effort that I was or wasn't putting in. It was actually the gap of a system that actually held it all together. I'm a pretty organized person, but when it came to especially social media content, that was a side that was really lacking in having a proper system that I could actually work with that suited my brain and how it worked, that could actually it was sustainable, right? And it was manageable. So needing a system that actually helped you stay visible, feeling confident in what you're putting out, and still having enough left in the tank, right, for your actual client work, that the stuff that they pay you for and that you love to do, and actually living your life. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to be working all the time. I run my business, be this entrepreneur, sign up for this crazy life so I can actually enjoy that flexibility and have that freedom. So what I needed actually wasn't yet another place to put content. It wasn't try somebody else's framework. It wasn't another spreadsheet laid out in a different way. Actually, it was one central system that everything could come together in. It could hold everything, connect everything, and just show me exactly what I already had, show me what I needed, depending on what I was doing on that day, the goals that I was working towards, whether I was in planning mode, if I was doing a launch, if I was just kind of sharing stuff consistently. I needed a system that actually did the heavy lifting for me so that I wasn't the one holding it all in my head and just trying to do too much. And frankly, I was just making it way harder than I realized it actually needed to be. And then when AI came along, that helped a lot, but then I was still doing so much manually. So actually being able to incorporate all the good stuff that I was doing in AI, but again, making it more efficient and making it work with my brain, with my system, without loads of copying and pasting and still lots of manual fluff, right? And that's what the AI content operating system is. I kind of call it my content command center because it becomes the one place where everything lives, and it really stops content being such a drain, and I stop resenting it, and it actually starts being something really workable that works for you, for your brain, how you like to work, even when you're not actively working on it. So let me show you the full picture. I'm going to give you a little overview and a bit of a tour. And then, as I say, each day this week, we're going to dive into each piece in more detail so I can really show you how things can work for you. So let's go. So this is the content hub. This is the command center of dreams when it comes to your content. It's that central place for you to be able to see everything, house everything, make your life so much easier now and in the future. If you bring people in, everything just lives here. Nothing gets lost. There's no more wondering where something is, what went out, what worked, what didn't, and having a million different places to do whatever the task it is for your content. So first off, I want to go through the idea vault. So this is basically a place where all of your ideas can come in before they're actually turned into content, whether it's ideas you see on Instagram, like hook ideas, whether it's you want to be able to voice note and turn it into content, whether you like to write things down on your computer, on your phone, on your iPad, whatever. It's where your ideas are captured, they're tagged, and they're ready to use when you're then in creation mode, rather than having all rattling around your head and worrying that you're going to lose those great ideas or things that you've seen or being woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Then we have the kind of all content, which is where like everything lives. That's not just ideas. Okay. We've got different workflow views. So it's the same data, but you can then see your content in different stages of your production line, whether you're in like planning mode, if you're in production mode. You get to see just the things that you need to see for that task, the different headspaces that you're going to be in. If you're in writing mode, and if you like to write in a list, in calendar view. So you've got different ways that you can see your content based on what you're doing. So you can actually just focus on the task at hand and not get distracted by kind of looking at everything all in once. There's like approvals if you have team and have people doing things for you that you can approve whatever you need. And if you're then in launch mode, again, you can see the things that you need to see. Then this is then the repurposing section. Again, this is just in this particular view. And this is the one that I get excited about every single time that I use it. And other people get really excited about it when they see it. And it's one piece of content, and you can choose to have one of many different multiple formats created for you with one click automatically. And then it all comes back and it's linked back in here so you can see the repurposed content, or if you're in one that's been repurposed, you can always see the original so that you can easily get more out of your content. So I'm going to be showing that more in video 4 this week. Then we have kind of campaign tracking, so we can track your launches. You can see the performance and how well things are doing during and after. You can then see all of your content when you're launching, or if you're relaunching something. You can then actually find all of your content and easily connect it to your launches. So all of your launches can live in here, and you can then connect the content to your launch or campaign to be able to reuse, tweak it, and take other content and change the call to action, whatever you want to do, so that you're not starting from scratch every single time and feeling that overwhelm that I always did. Now you've got a really nice baseline to start from and actually use stuff that's worked in the past, and you can easily, test out different things. That will be coming up on day 5. And then we've got kind of performance view. So you can actually see how well your content is performing. You can sort by the top performers. You can see, I've got social media metrics, email metrics, so depending on obviously the platforms that you use, you can easily find the content for the platform, the best performers, and then turn those and repurpose those again into other formats, or share them again as they are. And this just really allows you to do more of the stuff that's working. You reshare the content that's worked in the past, so you're not always starting from scratch. Instead, you're creating smarter. Then we have a whole podcast production or YouTube, depending what you're doing. So like I have a whole, I'll just show you mine. I've got one for kind of my blog, and this was a kind of video podcast that I did. I've now got a new one that's just for my YouTube videos. So here you can see this is actually this series, and I can easily see what's doing. So there's a whole section on kind of podcast, YouTube, or it could be blog that you can also have your production line as well. And there can be so much more to this as well, but I don't want to overwhelm you too much. But this system can be structured for you, for your brain, and how you like to work. So here's how all those different tabs and views and stuff, how it all connects. Think about how you do things. You get an idea, it comes into your head, it goes into your idea vault. It gets developed and written in the content hub, whether it's through AI. You then can create it, whether it's creating an asset as a carousel, whether it's adding a quick B-roll video clip to it. You've got your caption, you upload everything. Everything lives in there, ready to then go out and be scheduled to whatever platform that you're doing. It goes out, it's connected to that campaign that you're doing, so you can actually see a big view of how well did all of your content perform, as well as the individual ones. Then next time, when you're launching something, you can come back, you can then see the stuff that's worked well, you can reuse it, you can repurpose it, you can turn it into other formats, you can change things easily. Now you've actually got half your content done before you've even written a new thing. If you're coming to then looking at next month, rather than coming up with 30-day content plan of brand new content, you could have half of your month already created, and now you just want to test out a few different things, some new hooks, new video clips, some new assets, but you can just use the stuff there as a starting point. Then whether you have a team now or down the line, they can easily also plug into this system, so everybody knows what they're doing, what they've got, what they haven't got. They can do their task again with the stuff that they need without you becoming that bottleneck, because everything lives inside of this central content hub and this content operating system. So that's the whole system. It's one place, everything connected, nothing is falling through the gaps. What that gives you in terms of real terms beyond the hours that you'll save is the ability to show up consistently and confidently without you having to be showing up consistently. Content, your brand, your business can do that for you. You can actually scale without it just that hustle and the grind, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and feeling like, oh my God, I haven't got any more room. How am I going to be able to grow my business to what I want without me overworking? And actually create breathing room. The biggest thing that I notice with having good systems in place, especially with the parts that feel heavy, which for me can be content, staying consistent, is actually the mental space that it allows by having the right views, by having the right process, by having the right access to what I need when I'm doing things. That brain power that it was just being sucked up and taken so much of felt so much lighter. You know, obviously it's still work to keep up with content, but the easier and the more automated you can make things, taking the process that you're already doing and things that work and actually making it smart with automation, with AI, combining the two, and with that central place that you can go, is honestly going to make like a beautiful cocktail of brilliance that you're gonna love. And it's not going to feel like such a chore to do. So this week, I'm going to go through each of the pieces that I've shown you today in its own video, okay? So every day for the next 7 days, you're going to see the part that makes people go, oh my God, that's video 4, and that drops on Thursday. So make sure that you subscribe and you check the playlist so you don't miss any of them. And if you're watching this as you go through the week and you're thinking, oh my God, I love this, I want this built for me, that's custom for me and my business and my workflow, so that you can save 5+ hours every single week and stop being the bottleneck in your own business and making things really hard, then there will be a link to be able to apply for one of my limited spots of done for you builds every single month and see if it's a fit for you, or if you're more of a DIY person and you like to be able to kind of take this and have a baseline kind of foundational content system for yourself, then there is also a link to my template that you can grab. It doesn't have the clever AI repurposing stuff and pieces that I'm going to show you later in the week, but it gives you a really nice baseline, and the majority of the organization is done for you. You can also check the description for a link to that as well, and you can always choose to have me build it out and customize it for you if you choose. So make sure that you subscribe, stay close, and also future templates will be coming as well with some of the more advanced stuff. So again, there's going to be lots coming. I'm really excited. So video 2 drops tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you there, where we're going to dive into the idea vault.